Hello. So we've been talking about the decline of private health insurance just recently. And so I think there's a lot of things in place that make me think that it is going to be harder or more competitive to be a specialist in the future than perhaps what it was in the past. So I think you should be thinking about strategies to continue to differentiate yourself from everybody else, and other specialties out there, other specialists out there, I should say. So, we can go down a few different paths and we'll explore them in different videos through time. One path definitely is your relationship with other specialists and referring partners. So that is, a big topic and we'll put some time into that. But today I thought we should be thinking about, I want to talk about your public image. And so overwhelmingly, we have quite a few specialists that we look after, all different types of specialists and varying degrees of need and public interaction in what they do. But I would suggest that overwhelmingly, as a general rule, the clients in our practice haven't really put a lot of time into their online presence. And that could be for a variety of reasons. Traditionally, I think doctors have been a little bit conservative, didn't want to do the marketing and those sorts of things. But I feel if things are getting harder, and we can agree that there are more specialists coming through, there's more in town, there is more competition and some of those sorts of things, that it kind of makes sense to at least put some time into it. So I don't think you have to turn yourself into an absolute marketing machine. Certainly I am not, and I am guilty of all these same things that I'm going to raise today. Okay, but one thing I feel you should be thinking about is your public image and your image on the internet and your social presence, basically. And so I've just kind of done a bit of like Googling and looking, and RateMD is coming up. And so I've looked at a few clients for reviews on RateMD, and overwhelmingly it seems like it has been absolutely driven by the patients, and there has been no direction or request from the actual doctor or specialist that saw that patient. And so I think the one thing I want you to take away from this video is that if you are not contributing to your online presence, so I don't think you can't control it, but you need to contribute to it. So if you are not contributing to it, it is being contributed to by other people. And they are not necessarily, you have no input into those people. And, it's a little bit of Murphy's Law in that the people who are more likely to get on and review you are ones that are upset. And we can't be perfect for everybody, and nobody's expecting that. But certainly, I think overwhelmingly, if you manage to stay in business and run a practice and that sort of thing, you're doing something right. And so what you're doing right, you need that out there to other people that are going to potentially come to you. If you are a specialist, you are in a transaction game. You are getting new referrals all the time. Okay? You don't have a chance to build a long-term relationship with people. You need new referrals all the time. And so those people overwhelmingly are going to be Googling you. It's the first thing they're going to do, especially if it's a big, scary surgery. They're going to go, oh, does this guy know what he's doing? Does this person, this lady, has she ever done this before? What's her qualifications? What do her other patients say? I have no idea what's going through their head, but I've had some surgeries, and that's, I'd certainly Google them. And I wanted to get across it. And if I'm feeling like my loved one going, oh, look at their reviews, they are amazing. So overwhelmingly, I think our clients have not done that great, and the medical field in general has not done that great. So it's not just our clients, but I think that's just the population. So I'm going to get my head out of here and just give you a couple of ideas or thoughts to try and take away and get going. So the first one, so I'm going to pick on Dr. David Moore. And the reason I'm picking on him is because he was the obstetrician for our two children. And so I think he is an absolutely amazing doctor. And he went well above and beyond my expectations on what he should do. And I just think he was a brilliant doctor for various reasons, okay? And he far exceeded my expectations. And I have told multiple people about that, but I've never contributed to his online identity. He has never asked me to, but if he had asked shortly after, of course I would have put up something, because he will always have a special place in my heart, because I just think he was unbelievable through that period of time. So if I go, okay, well, I've just given him an absolute glowing endorsement. Well, what's if I've looked up Dr. David Moore in Google? I'm getting this COVID. Okay, I can look at where he's at, and I'm probably going to look at that. But if I sort of go Dr. David Moore reviews, we go, okay, RateMD. So this is what I'm talking about. RateMD is coming up, and I get myself smaller. So if I go and look at RateMD, and I've cheated here, I've already got him up. So look here, he has 2 reviews. One 2 years ago, and the other one 6 years ago. So he would see hundreds of patients. Maybe, the gynecologists or obstetricians sort of maybe are in a little bit more of a relationship business than a surgeon. And so they might not see as many patients, but it's certainly tens to hundreds a year, So over, I don't know, he's been going at least 6 years. What he should have had, tens of reviews on there, I would suggest. Now, he is not doing it, and I would talk to him and say, you definitely should be doing it. David is not a client of mine. So, if I look at his credentials, he is, I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does well. I don't know what type of clients he's looking for. Yes, they're on his website, but, if I type in Dr. David Moore review, this stuff is going to come up. And so I feel you need to be getting this contributed to through time. And I think it's just a reality. So he has got a couple of Google reviews, again, 5 Google reviews, 3 years ago, 3, 4, a year ago, 2 years ago. One, not great. And so if I look at it on face value, 4 stars, I'd suggest he is a 5-star doctor. And so if he actually managed to get a true representation of his population of patients, his reviews would be dramatically higher. So I think you should be asking your patients for reviews ongoingly. So that should be the number one thing. So if we just think about, we're a few minutes into this video and I tend to ramble, but if we think about the Pareto principle of the 80-20, so what is the 20% of stuff that we need to do to get 80% of the result? I would suggest get reviews. Make that part of your system. Make that part of your everyday interaction. Be aware of how they're reviewed as well. So the key criteria that they're actually asking for in RateMDs, so staff, helpfulness, punctuality, and knowledge. That staff, as a specialist, if I'm sort of thinking, if I'm going to see, I don't know, a general surgeon about getting my gallbladder out, I just want to know they're going to get the surgery right, to be honest. But that's not how this is coming out, right? And so you need to be aware of these things. Also, they're like suggesting an alternative to me on this website. I've gone to look for David Moore and they've given me an alternative. So I know there's some paid stuff in behind here, but there's an excellent article here that I just have a really quick look at it. I'm going to link that just goes through how to improve your ratings on RateMD. Get a proper photo, fill out information, as much information as you can, link your profile to your practice, but overwhelmingly, nothing is as important as reviews. 85% of people trust online reviews. So reviews, okay? That is the 20% that will get you 80% of the results. So good luck, start. I'm trying to do the same. So if you're one of my clients, please review me. There is a reason I'm asking you. Thank you.